You know what? There are a lot of differences between Drake and Kanye, but there's a lot of similarities. You could almost say they're like cousins, long distant like relatives, or even welcome to another episode of the Blast Podcast. I'm your host, DSP. Thanks for watching the video. I'm going to assume many of you watching this have no idea or ever heard of the film Twins featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. They both played non-identical twins in a film that released in 1988. A quick summary of the plot is a secret experiment was had in New Mexico where 6 scientists combined their DNA to produce the quote-unquote perfect child with the selected mother. To the surprise of the scientists, there were 2 embryos that were formed when the twins were born. Time jump to the present. Arnold's character finds out he has a brother who happens to be Danny DeVito's character, and he wants to find him. He eventually finds his brother, and their dynamic evolves throughout the film. The ultimate goal for Arnold's character is to find the mother because they believe she was dead and she thought she only had one son that passed away after childbirth. It's a pretty good buddy comedy film from the late 80s you should check out sometime. The reason why I called this episode Twins is because I see a lot of similarities between Drake and Kanye West. And like the film I just described, you can say they were constructed by different parties that they owe their success to. I wanted to point out how they're not so much alike, but I also wanted to point out how much alike they are through their behavioral patterns. For the sake of this video, we'll say the music industry is the mother from the film. Now, both of these artists perhaps don't share the same scientist fathers in the game, but they did have a group behind them that catapulted them into stardom. First, let's look at Kanye West. He had backing of Rockefeller Records, which consisted of Jay-Z, Dame Dash, and Biggs Burke at the helm. We'll discuss how it wasn't peaches and cream later in the video. Kanye West also had the backing of Def Jam after he split with Rockefeller to start his own brand, Good Music. I also believe we can throw Lucien Grange in there as his scientist father as well. Lucien, you can say, is the scientist father that both of these artists have. As for Drake, we can say Jay Prince, his son Jay Prince Jr., Lil Wayne, and who I mentioned previously are his scientist fathers. These individuals put in the work to make sure that both Drake and Kanye were the perfect artist, quote-unquote, birthed by the music industry. In this video, I'll be talking about their early praises of each other, their differences, their similarities, and my final thoughts. Grab a snack, a drink, sit back, and enjoy the video.
It's alone. He told Kanye, a decade ago I rapped over your beat because you just made the best ish, and even though you stay wildin' on Twitter these days, I will never forget what you contributed to the game.
Drake is the greatest rapper ever.
Before we get to the differences and similarities, we must discuss the praise they showed each other many times throughout their careers. Kanye West being the first out of the 2 to break out. As we all know, he came into the game as a producer. What we'll discuss later is his transition into becoming an artist. As he became a superstar in the music industry, another young artist by the name of Drake was making waves. There was no denying that Kanye West had a huge influence on Drake as an artist. Drake would go on to say it publicly in 2009, stating that Kanye West was the most influential person on his sound. Drake and his team would actively listen to and appreciate Ye's music. Kanye on several occasions has praised Drake as well. After one of their fallouts, they had a reunion concert where they performed their hits and showered each other with compliments. Kanye was always a fan of Drake's performance style and the attire he would wear on stage. Earlier this year, post-Kendrick battle, Ye would go on Twitter and once again shower Drake with compliments. Many felt that the only reason he was doing that was because of Kendrick Lamar's run as of late. If I'm going to be honest, when it comes to Kanye, I can't tell when he's being genuine or when he's being performative. As of right now, he hasn't taken anything back he said about Drake, so I'm assuming all is well. Maybe he'll have production credits and or a feature on Drake's upcoming release. As you all know, these two have a very complicated history and dynamic. Before we get into the differences and similarities, I wanted to show that they did in fact acknowledge each other. Not only acknowledge, but actually appreciate each other's art. To reference the film Twins, this is like when Arnold and Danny's characters finally earned each other's trust. They were like two peas in a pod. Now that I've shown you that they, in fact, do respect each other's art, it's time to get into the similarities and pointing out the differences between these two isn't as easy as it may seem. Yes, we can discuss their upbringings and how different they were, but to me that's low-hanging fruit and that's lazy. So what I'll do is point out the differences in their rise to stardom. Kanye West had been doing ghost beats and working with other big-name producers like D-Dot in the late 90s. Early 2000s, he was an in-house producer for Rockefeller Records. This is when he would contribute to the Blueprint album, most notably the track titled Takeover. Many credited Kanye West with revitalizing Jay-Z's career. He would go on to produce for Beanie Sigel, Freeway, Ludacris, Alicia Keys, and Janet Jackson. In the midst of all of his production success, Kanye West still wanted to be an artist. As an artist, he struggled finding a deal because he didn't have the aesthetic of a gangster rapper, which was popular at the time. He would ultimately sign as an artist to Rockefeller Records. He would get into a car accident that admitted him into the hospital. With his jaw wired shut, he was inspired to do a song which catapulted him into the mainstream called Through the Wire. After the release of College Dropout, Kanye West would see his status as a producer/artist surpass his peers in record time. As they say, the rest is history. As for Drake, his rise to success was completely different. Many of you know that he started off as a teen actor. At 15, Drake would star in a Canadian teen drama series by the name of Degrassi. During his run on that show, he would regularly record and release mixtapes with his music. It was his 2009 mixtape, So Far Gone, that really jump-started his career. With songs like Best I Ever Had and Successful, he displayed that he had the capabilities of going platinum. With the success of his mixtape, there was a bidding war for his talents, and he would eventually sign with Young Money Entertainment. And of course, the rest is history. I wanted to point out this difference because you can see nobody really respected Ye as an artist due to his aesthetic. Drake didn't really have that problem as an artist, but he wasn't a high-demand producer like Ye was before he became a rapper. Like in the film Twins, of course the non-identical twins didn't look alike, but their characteristics were diametric opposites. Danny DeVito's character was a streetwise con man, while Arnold's character was a book-smart but terribly naive. Another scene in the film where they speak on their differences is when the twins meet one of their scientist fathers. The scientist father told the twin that Arnold's character was given the best genes, while Danny DeVito's character had the leftover crap. A direct quote from the film.
This must be where you made the milkshake.
We weren't making milkshakes. We're making the most fully developed human the world has ever seen.
But instead of just one perfect kid, Mom had the two of us. Way to go, Mom.
Wrong. The embryo did split in two, but it didn't split equally. All the purity and strength went into Julius. All the crap that was left over went into what you see in the mirror every morning.
Whoa. You telling me I'm the crap?
I do have to add, Drake's entry into the game was absolutely made easier because of Kanye West. That is something that I can't deny. As I stated earlier, Ye couldn't get a deal as an artist because he didn't have a gangsta aesthetic. As for Drake, when it was time for him to get a deal 9 years later, it was a lot easier because of Ye making an alternative aesthetic to the gangster rapper popular. So due to his twin, he was able to enter the game without a problem. Do you think that Drake acknowledges that fact, or do you think he's terribly naive when it comes to that? See what I did there? Let's get to the... Getting into the similarities of these two, I feel was extremely easy. After doing the research for this episode, I was able to find more similarities that I didn't know of. In the film, Arnold's character ends up dating Danny DeVito's character's girlfriend's sister, which is funny because we know Kanye at one point was married to Kim Kardashian, and there were rumors of Drake dating Kylie Jenner, who happens to be her sister. There were even rumors of Drake messing with Kim Kardashian, but I don't think either rumor was verified. I just thought it was funny to make that comparison. Another similarity they share are the artists they've worked with. Kanye West has produced for Janet Jackson and Alicia Keys. Drake has written and collaborated with Alicia Keys, and he's also sampled Janet Jackson's song Morning for his song Come Through. Of course, we could discuss how Virgil Abloh meant a lot to both artists prior to his passing. Virgil and Ye's relationship was always at the forefront. They constantly supported each other publicly. As for Drake, He also admired Virgil, and he wasn't afraid to show his appreciation for the man. He would sport his clothing, honor him with the statue, and even getting a tattoo paying homage to him. Of course, they have similarities when it comes to the luxurious lifestyle, spending money on cars, watches, and exclusive fashion items. They both have faced criticism and controversy based on their views on society or lack thereof. We can discuss when Kanye said,
400 years? For 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for...
Very similar to Drake's bars on Family Matters, where he raps,
always rapping like you about to get the slaves free. You just
like I mentioned earlier in the movie Twins, one of them was a con man and the other was aloof. Can you guess who the con man and who is aloof? Probably so. Both have chart-topping albums and both have had a significant amount of dominance in the hip-hop genre in the past. There's no denying that at all. And we can't forget how similarly they use social media. Both have used social media platforms to either instigate or engage in feuds or rivalries. We've seen Kanye talk about damn near everyone in the entertainment business and politics on his social media. We've also seen Drake use social media to troll, poke fun of people, and also to engage in public feuds and rivalries within the entertainment industry. They've both used social media to promote whatever projects, shows, or events they have coming up. I'm sure they're saying, well, actually, all artists do. And I would say yes, but shut the fuck up. We're not talking about everybody. We're talking about Drake and Ye. Both artists have faced criticism for their social media behavior. Kanye West with his remarks rooted in anti-Semitism. He's also received backlash for other offensive content he shared, like his interview with academics, where he's seen wearing a black Ku Klux Klan robe and releasing a song titled Hail Hitler. Yes, he's actually did that.
So I became a Nazi, yeah, bitch, I'm the villain. Nigga, how Hitler?
As for Drake, he's had some controversy when he posted a picture of an 18-year-old girl who happened to be the daughter-in-law of Lucien Grange, Sophia Richie. With all the allegations out there about Drake liking them young,
say Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
Him making the post once again makes him look aloof. There are legit allegations based on your past behavior and the people you keep around, so making that post wasn't a smart move. I get he was just trolling, quote unquote, but that was in poor taste. Their dynamic has been complicated even with all these similarities. They've had moments of collaboration, admiration, disdain, and rivalry. But if you have a sibling, you know good and well that comes with the territory. Will they ever patch things up like they did in 2021? Anything is possible, but as of now, it doesn't look like the twins are linking back up.
hit 'em up, then I scared to die. Just to fit the house, man, I had to cop a feel like to the die. Voila. Back when the money meter sounded like na-na-na. Hey, hey, goodbye. People had a problem looking in my eyes. They look away, safe to say.
Finally broke up. Watch out for me, I'm about to time to shake the dice, time to change your life. No more 9 to 5, autopilot drive. You
First, I would like to say thank you for tapping in with me. If you made it this far, I truly appreciate you giving me your time. I truly hope I didn't waste it, and I also hope I was able to show you just how similar these two are. And not just at a surface level, but show you how similarly they move. Is it possible that Drake might have used Kanye West as a template for success? I believe so. It's just that Drake came when the climate accepted his sort of act. Kind of. We all know the backlash Drake went through when he was on the rise as an artist. There are plenty of videos documenting what he went through on his platform alone. He would eventually surpass Kanye in stardom, but continue to use the same exact tactics as Ye. Maybe not as inflammatory, but definitely controversial. Drake is currently in an interesting space right now. As of late, his music has either been lackluster or mediocre, to say the least. After his well-known battle with Kendrick Lamar, Drake has been trying to find another spark. He made a little noise with his collab project with P&D with songs like Give Me a Hug and Nokia, but just as quick as the album came, it went away just as quick. Now Drake fans are eagerly waiting for his next release. The question is, what kind of music will he be bringing? Will it be the same formulaic, uninspired music? Or will Drake bring in a new sound that will carry him into the next decade? We will have to wait and see. Now, as for Kanye West, I feel he's currently in the fall-off stage. Just this year alone, he's released mediocre albums that only his stans can appreciate. As I mentioned earlier, a single called Hail Hitler made its way to the internet and into people's vehicles. There were rumors he was using AI to create his music for him. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, wow, how the mighty have fallen. This is the man that created a space for artists like Drake, Childish Gambino, and Chance the Rapper to thrive. So to see him on the downward spiral he's currently on is pretty disheartening. This is coming from someone who loves his first 3 albums, but just like a good friend of mine used to say, everything has an expiration date. With that said, thanks for watching the video. Please hit the like button, leave a comment with some feedback, and if you haven't already, please be sure to sub to the channel. Also, share this with other like-minded hip-hop fans. This will help the channel grow. Truly appreciate you tapping in with me. I'm DSP, and this is the Blast Podcast.